expected, we are now getting word from a U.S. defense official that the retaliation has begun. That U.S. airstrikes from multiple platforms have begun in the retaliation for the deaths of 3 U.S. service members whose bodies were transferred to Dover, Delaware today. Jennifer Griffin is reporting that the strikes are at targets in Syria, and Jennifer is joining us right now from the Pentagon. Jennifer, good to have you with us. Obviously, we've been waiting for word that this is underway. Tell us what you're learning.
Well, Martha, what I'm hearing from senior U.S. defense officials is that strikes from multiple U.S. platforms have begun against targets in Syria. They may not be limited to those targets in Syria, but the first explosions have been heard on the ground, and we can now confirm from a U.S. defense official that the U.S. is involved in those targeted airstrikes. They would not tell me exactly which platforms were firing, but we do know that B-1B Lancer bombers have been deployed to the region. Those are, of course, the Air Force's largest. It's a supersonic warplane that can drop the largest conventional payload. You also have multiple U.S. destroyers in the region that can fire Tomahawks. You have the USS Florida, which is a submarine that also is loaded with about 150 Tomahawk missiles. We've been expecting this. This has been the sort of the worst kept secret in Washington. The president said earlier this week that he had taken a decision. We knew that U.S. Central Command had put together a series of targets, a campaign, if you will. We heard from Defense Secretary Austin yesterday here in the Pentagon briefing room that this would be a multi-tiered and multi-day, if not multi-week, campaign against these Iranian proxies that have been threatening U.S. forces, firing up to 166 times in the last few months at U.S. bases, killing 3 Americans. Those 3 brave Americans were returned home in a dignified transfer. Just moments ago, the president, the defense secretary, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the head of the Army were all there to greet those 3 American soldiers who died when the Iranian-backed proxy fired that drone on Sunday while they were sleeping in their barracks. So that ceremony is over at Dover, and now we're told this is the beginning of what we're told is a long campaign over the coming days to target those Iranian-backed proxies. The problem is, Martha, as we've also been reporting, there's been so much telegraphing that most of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps have been pulled out of those bases, have returned to Tehran, to Iran, and many of those proxy groups have gone into hiding.